Jake Paul caused a stir online by poking fun at boxing legend Mike Tyson on Instagram. He mocked Tyson's recent intense pad work training video, turning their friendly banter into a heated exchange as they prepare to face off in the ring. Tyson, announcing his comeback fight against the YouTube star turned boxer, shared his training clip to prove he's ready. But Paul, known for his daring tactics and mind tricks, fired back by copying Tyson's moves, igniting the start of their psychological warfare.
I think to be at his absolute best. You know, he's taking this very, very seriously, and that's what's going to make the fight amazing for all of the fans. Obviously, he's a killer. I'm moving up to the heavyweight division, so he's going to have some advantages, but that's what's going to make this fight exciting. We both have one-punch knockout power.
During the Formula One Miami Grand Prix weekend, Jake Paul shared his thoughts on his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson. Talking to USA Today, Paul showed respect for Tyson, but made his intentions clear. "I love Mike. I'm really respectful of him. It's a privilege to be in the ring with him, but I have to beat him," Paul said. "It's like war. Everything is fair in love and war. I love the guy, but as soon as it became a professional fight, one of us has to win." Paul's boxing journey started in 2018 against YouTuber Deji Olatunji, and it's been full of controversy yet impact. Even Tyson himself has acknowledged Paul's influence on boxing, saying that Paul has done more for boxing than some champions did. As the fight draws closer, fans are eager to see if Paul's strategies will challenge the legendary Iron Mike Tyson, or if Tyson's experience and skill will dominate the influencer turned boxer. This clash between two different generations of fighters promises to be more than just a fight. It's going to be a spectacle.
Jake Paul, he's on the way to like building a legitimate boxing career. He's having real fights.
Part of it is what it's been from the beginning, you know, trying to be the best fighter he can be and see where that takes him. At the same time, building a promotional company, maybe changing the sport a little bit in his mind too.
Yeah, I think at the core, he's a good person, and I wouldn't be surprised if part of his motivation for putting on this fight is knowing it will get eyeballs and being able to put on some of the other fighters there.
Joe Rogan hasn't stayed quiet about this fight. He's always sharing his thoughts and opinions. Recently, there's been some gossip about Jake Paul canceling his fight with Mike Tyson. It was supposed to be an exhibition match between the 58-year-old boxing legend and the YouTube sensation. But after Jake saw a recent training video of Tyson, he seemed to get scared and backed out. Joe Rogan, who's been following this drama closely, finally spoke up about it, revealing some harsh truths.
If he's physically capable of recapturing 70% of what he used to do, just dealing with that with probably 90% of the power. Even at 57, you can make a lot of money if Mike Tyson's fit and in shape, which is so crazy to say. And if Tyson can still move his head like he used to move his head. Now, the thing about lower backs, though, if you got a lower back problem, you got to kind of like save that movement. You can only do it so many times before it's painful.
Now, there's speculation that Jake might quit boxing after this ordeal. Joe Rogan is not holding back, criticizing those who underestimate Tyson just because of his age. He points out that even though Tyson is 57 years old, he still packs bone-crushing punches that could seriously harm Jake. Jake's recent glimpse into Tyson's training likely made him realize this reality.
Guys who came out of there were monsters, and Rafael Cordero is from that camp. And so he's the guy working with Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson is smashing those mitts.
That's what I saw.
Jake Paul is he's probably a little scared. You know, as much as he thinks he's the younger guy and he's a tough guy and he's a really good boxer and he'd probably be able to do it.
While Mike Tyson is a 90s icon, he's not stuck in the past. Despite being out of boxing for years, he remains in great shape. He hasn't lost his ability to deliver powerful punches, and he's not relying solely on traditional workouts. Tyson is utilizing advanced techniques like electrical muscle stimulation to maintain fitness and recover from injuries. So, if Jake decided to back out of the fight, there's likely a valid reason behind it.
How do you think that fight goes?
Well, it can go two ways. Mike knows the sport. He's been in it all his whole life. So he knows how to pace himself to go 8 2-minute rounds. Jake Paul haven't been in that position yet, especially against a strong fighter like Mike Tyson. The pressure's going to be more on Mike Tyson. On Jake Paul than Mike Tyson.
You think Mike wins?
Absolutely.
Knockout?
Absolutely.
There you go. You heard it from Ronnie himself.
Tyson's known for his powerful punches, and even experts like Joe Rogan and Teddy Atlas warn that Jake Paul could be in real trouble if he faces Tyson. With over 27 years of boxing analysis, Joe Rogan's not just talking nonsense. He believes Tyson could knock Jake out with just one punch, and Teddy Atlas doesn't hold back either, suggesting that Jake is taking on a legend in the ring. Even at 58, Mike Tyson is still one of the hardest hitters in boxing history. His punches are legendary, and his speed and power are unmatched. While the end of his career wasn't the greatest, his power remains formidable. Many believe facing Tyson is dangerous for Jake Paul. Despite having nothing to prove, Tyson agreed to fight Paul in an exhibition match. He saw it as a chance to teach Paul a lesson and remind him of the respect he deserves. The disrespect shown by Paul is shocking. He not only challenged Tyson's reputation, but also made a deeply hurtful comment about Tyson's deceased 4-year-old daughter, saying he'll bury Mike next to her. In a heartfelt interview, Tyson revealed his struggles during that time, confessing to turning to drugs to cope with the pain of losing his daughter. The loss still deeply affects him, highlighting its profound impact on his life. When Joe Rogan learned about Jake Paul's cruel words towards Mike Tyson, he was furious. Rogan, who was close to Tyson, couldn't hide his anger at Paul's insensitivity. Paul's actions caused outrage and earned him notoriety, but at what cost? By canceling the fight just for attention and a moment in the spotlight, Paul has gained lifelong disdain. It's one thing to seek fame through achievement or controversy, but to stoop so low as to insult someone's personal tragedies for attention is disgraceful. Recently, Tyson and Rogan discussed the canceled fight on a podcast. Tyson explained that he agreed to fight because he felt compelled to teach Paul a lesson after his disrespectful behavior.
Make sure you tell Mike there's no holding back. Whatever happens, happens, and this is war now. If he puts me down, I can deal with that. But if I put him down, he needs to be the one making the decision, and I'm going to put him down. And if people are pissed about it, then watch soccer.
Tyson compared Paul to a toad, suggesting he disrespects others without understanding the consequences. Insulting Tyson's deceased daughter and challenging him to a fight was a serious error on Paul's part. While it may seem easy to underestimate the challenge from a distance, it becomes clear just how significant it is up close. Paul learned this lesson after insulting Tyson. When asked if he gets upset when challenged by someone like Jake Paul, Tyson responded with a smirk, saying he thinks it's great. He didn't let Jake's actions bother him. Instead, he views the challenge as an opportunity for an exciting fight. Tyson's calm attitude indicates he's confident in his abilities and doesn't need to resort to insults or harsh words. He's entering this fight to defend his honor, demonstrating that disrespecting one's family is unacceptable. And Joe Rogan understands this sentiment as well. The situation highlights how sometimes conflicts find resolution in the ring, and Tyson is prepared to teach Jake about respect. Joe Rogan was surprised by Tyson's calm response, noting that it's both insulting and courageous for Tyson to handle the situation this way. There are different levels to everything: how we talk, how we act, and even how we choose our opponents. After Jake backed out of the fight, Joe Rogan revisited these thoughts. He questioned why there was a need for disrespectful talk about a renowned and respected professional fighter like Tyson, who clearly holds more power and stature. Now Jake is taking a step back, realizing Tyson's true strength, feeling as frightened as a child seeking safety behind their mother. Boxing is a serious endeavor, especially when facing a heavyweight champion. You can't just wake up one day, seeking fame or easy money, and challenge the reigning king of the sport. Boxing demands respect, preparation, and an understanding of the gravity of challenging someone like Tyson, something Jake seemed to overlook. In a podcast, Joe Rogan delved into why Jake Paul backed out of the fight. Mike Tyson was straightforward about Jake Paul's boxing skills, stating that Jake is highly skilled and capable of defeating former MMA champions with his knockout power. At first, Jake underestimated Tyson, seeing him as an old opponent past his prime. He thought beating Tyson would bring him media attention and glory. However, Joe Rogan provided insight into the real reason for the fight's cancellation. Tyson's abilities and reputation in the ring are still formidable. Jake likely realized he was in over his head. Now the question arises, how will Jake deal with the fallout from canceling the fight? What will other boxing legends think of Jake's decision? Keep an eye out for reactions and share your thoughts in the comments.